Every living system is coded with an impulse to evolve towards a higher state of order and complexity, a silent gravitational pull towards its own potential. This is the fundamental driving force of existence itself. Most people, however, are conditioned from birth to live in direct opposition to this impulse. Society rewards predictability, conformity, and the maintenance of a stable, unchanging identity. We are taught to build rigid structures, cling to familiar patterns out of fear, and to pathologize the profound discomfort of growth, labeling it as instability or crisis. But you are beginning to sense a different truth, an underlying current moving you toward an unknown shore, and the friction between that current and your constructed reality has become impossible to ignore. You feel an undeniable pull from a future version of yourself, a version that operates with more clarity, purpose, and power. This is not fantasy. It is your own potential generating a tangible, energetic field. What follows is not a spiritual metaphor. It is a framework for understanding the physics of personal evolution. It outlines the observable stages a human system goes through when it reaches a critical threshold for transformation, a process you are already in, whether you consciously recognize it or not. Reflect on the last few months. Has there been a persistent, unshakable feeling that the life you've built is no longer built for you? Perhaps you've noticed recurring numbers, names, or symbols appearing with uncanny frequency, a language of synchronicity that feels increasingly personal. Maybe you've felt a strange sense of detachment from goals that once fueled your ambition, seeing them now as surprisingly small, like the cherished toys of a childhood you have outgrown. These are not signs of regression or failure. They are systemic alerts. They indicate that your current operating system, your personality, your beliefs, your habits, can no longer handle the complexity and frequency of who you are becoming. This is the first stage, which can be called the chrysalis stage. It is a period of profound internal dissolution. Your old identity, with its attachments and certainties, begins to break down within a protective, yet confining, shell. The comfort of your routine now feels like a cage. Deep connections may start to feel superficial, not because the other person has changed, but because the energetic contract between you has expired. This is not a failure. It is a sacred and necessary liquefaction. The raw material of your past self is being dissolved to provide the energy needed to build something entirely new. This stage is often the most misunderstood. It can bring with it a deep sense of guilt for betraying the person everyone thought you were, and a terrifying fear of the unknown void that is left behind. Most people fight this stage. They mistake the dissolution for depression and frantically try to glue the old pieces of themselves back together, seeking validation from those still invested in their previous form. But the discomfort is the process working perfectly. It's a sign that the architecture of your soul is preparing for a complete remodel. Following this, you enter the second stage, the quickening. This is an unmistakable acceleration of developmental energy. Your internal processing speed increases dramatically. Time itself may seem to warp, with weeks of progress happening in days. Synchronicities intensify, moving from gentle nudges to loud, undeniable signals. A stranger in a cafe might mention the exact obscure concept you've been pondering. A book will literally fall off a shelf at your feet. An email will arrive with an opportunity that perfectly mirrors a secret desire you've never spoken aloud. The exact person, resource, or piece of information you need will appear with breathtaking precision, not from luck, but from an emerging resonance. You'll feel a powerful intuitive pull towards certain choices that your logical mind cannot justify, as intuition shifts from a background process to your primary navigation system. You might take risks that feel both terrifying and deeply correct, guided by an intelligence that seems to operate a few steps ahead of you. This is not life happening to you. It is the blueprint of your higher self beginning to rapidly unfold through you. Every past struggle was simply building your capacity to navigate this phase without being overwhelmed. This process of profound change can feel isolating and intense. If this framework resonates and you want to continue exploring the mechanics of transformation in a grounded way, I invite you to subscribe. It's more than a number. It is a way to signal that this conversation is valuable and to stay connected as we delve deeper together. The third stage is where your internal shift begins to command a response from the external world. This is the great alignment. As your internal center of gravity fundamentally changes, the orbits of everything and everyone around you must recalibrate. It's a law of systems. This phase is defined by the principle of surrender. It is not about doing more, but about allowing more. It requires you to consciously release your grip on controlling outcomes. Doors that were sealed shut will suddenly unlock because you are no longer the person for whom they were locked. People who are misaligned with your new frequency will naturally drift away without drama or conflict, while those who are a match will be drawn into your life with magnetic force. But this alignment is not a passive event. It demands your conscious partnership. It requires you to make choices that are in integrity with the person you are becoming, even before you see the external proof. It demands you trust the pull, even when you can't see the path ahead. This leads to the fourth and perhaps most crucial stage, the embodiment. This is where the new blueprint moves from a theoretical concept to a lived cellular reality. It requires you to close the gap between the person you are in your moments of private clarity and the person you are in your public interactions. It is the challenging work of speaking your truth when your old self would have stayed silent. It is the establishment of firm energetic boundaries, which means learning to say no without guilt, choosing solitude to recharge over draining social obligations, and curating your mental and emotional diet with extreme care. Embodiment is difficult because the world will continue to test your commitment to your new frequency. It will present you with situations that tempt you back into old reactions and patterns. Family and friends, accustomed to your old energetic contract, may consciously or unconsciously try to pull you back. Each time you choose to act from your new, aligned self, you are physically weaving the future into your present, strengthening that new neural and energetic pathway. The final stage is the culmination of this entire process. It is the resonance cascade. This is when your embodied internal state, your new beliefs, frequency, and identity become so stable and coherent that the external world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. This stands in stark contrast to the hustle paradigm of forcing change through sheer effort. The cascade is not about chasing, it is about attracting. The changes are no longer subtle, they are tangible and dramatic. The career that perfectly matches your purpose emerges, not from 100 applications, but from a single, aligned conversation. The relationships that nourish your soul become your reality. The abundance that supports your mission flows with an ease that feels miraculous. The cascade happens because you have finally achieved energetic congruence. There is no longer a difference between what you desire and what you believe you are worthy of. Resistance dissolves and reality reorganizes around your new state of being. This is not about getting things from the universe. It is about becoming the person who is a natural, resonant match for the reality you desire. It is the shift from chasing outcomes to becoming the source of them. Your evolution is not a distant event. It is happening now. The restlessness, the signs, the undeniable feeling that led you to these words, they are all data points confirming that you are in the midst of this profound sequence. This is the natural, observable process of a human being claiming their power as the primary architect of their life. Trust what is unfolding. Your future is not something you find. It is something you create from the inside out. To anchor this understanding and fully step into your creative power, make a declaration. Write this in the comments below. I am the architect. Let it be more than words, but a conscious claiming of your power to build the reality that is waiting for you.